Melissa. I'm an artist instructor at the Art Gallery of Ontario. Today we're going to be doing a really fun art making project that combines two things that I love, printmaking and games. For this project, you're going to be using materials that you find around your house, and in fact, the finding is part of the fun of this project. This is a great way to be creative, to play with your family and friends, and to create some amazing artwork. Let's have a look at some of the materials that we will need. The first thing that you will need is some paper to create your artwork on. The paper can be any size and any color you like. It's great to experiment with different paper sizes and colors. You will also need some scrap paper off to the side, and this will be used to test your prints before printing onto your group piece of paper. More on that in a minute. The next thing that you will need is some paint. A few different colors are great, but if you only have one color, that works too. Pieces that use just one color will be just as interesting as those that have lots of different colors. You're also going to need something to spread your paint onto. I have some plastic takeout lids. You can use old plates, different containers, anything with a flat surface will work. Tinfoil and wax paper will also be just fine. Now the next thing are the items that you're going to search for scavenger hunt style. So I have a few things that we have gathered from around our house. You want to look for things that would make an interesting stamp or print. Items with a unique shape or texture, something with a flat surface that can be dipped into paint and then printed onto paper. Almost anything can be printed. Think about finding items in a variety of sizes. It could be something really tiny, like the top of a screw, or it could be something a little bit larger, like a container or a cookie cutter. Other things that work are pieces of cardboard. Printed on the edge, you'll get this really cool zigzag pattern, and these can be layered in lots of different ways. Paper straws will make tiny circles. And then we have classic things like different foods. Here I have a lime and an apple, when cut in half, will print this really great star shape in a circle. Whatever you choose, make sure you ask an adult for permission first. We're going to be putting paint on these items, so they have to be things that can be easily washable, if not thrown out when you're done. So make sure you ask for permission first. The last thing that's great to have on hand is a roll of tape to tape your paper down onto your work surface, a pencil so that everyone can sign their names on the artwork when you're finished, and of course some paper towel to wipe up any hands or any spills. Paint likes to travel. Okay, start by protecting your work surface. Cover your table with newspaper or craft paper, anything that will catch any paint that maybe travels off of your printing paper. Once your work surface is ready, then you can start on the scavenger hunt part of this art making game. Together with the people that you're playing with, you'll have to come up with some rules. These can be anything you like. One possibility is you could start a timer. Think of a time limit, start the timer. Everyone has to search the house for their printmaking object and return back to the table before the timer goes off. You could choose to assign a certain shape to each person. One person has to find a square, one person has to find a circle. Find those shapes and bring them back to the table. Or everyone could search for the same shape. Maybe it's a circle. Find your circle, bring it back to the table. You could choose to search only one room in your house. All your objects have to come from that one room. You could choose to walk like a bear. You could choose to hop on one foot. Be careful. Whatever you choose, decide with the people that you're working with, and it can be anything. Any rules that everyone agrees on, and go, start to search. Once you have found your items, you're going to come back to the table and you're going to test out how they look when they're printed. So this is where your scrap paper is going to come into play. Give everyone that you're playing with a piece of scrap paper. Have your paint poured out into a thin layer onto your printing tray and bring your items over. So you're going to test out what these look like. So we're doing this on our scrap piece of paper before we move on to our big piece. So I'm dipping my first item, this is just a toy tire, into some paint. I've got a nice even coat of paint and I'm going to press it on to my piece of paper to make a print. I like that shape. So now I'm joined by my daughter, Taya. We've searched for our items. We had to search for 2 different items. Taya, what did you find?
Circle.
Circle shape, what else?
And a square.
And a square, great. So I also found a circle and I found, this is maybe going to be a really thin rectangle. So we've tested out our items, we're happy with them, and now we're going to play. So we have our piece of paper. Taya, what do you think? Should we work this way or should we work this way?
This way.
This way? Okay. So we have our piece of paper between us, and now we're going to take turns printing our items. And we've decided that the youngest person is going to go first. So Taya is going to print her item first. Beautiful. Ooh, look at that. That's really nice. Okay, so I'm going to go next. You can do this any way you would like. You could choose to have each item touching. You could choose to have a random pattern going all over your paper. How should we do it, Taya?
Just a random pattern.
Random? Okay. Beautiful. So you can decide with the people that you're playing when your print is done. Maybe it's after each person has printed 10 times. Maybe each person only has 1 item. Taya and I are playing with 2 items, but if you're playing with more people, you might only have 1 item. So you might stop when you fill the whole page. You might stop when you've noticed something appearing. Maybe you see a robot and you've decided, yes, it's done. When you're finished printing, make sure that everyone signs their name. You put your print somewhere safe to dry, and when it's done, maybe you'll hang it up.
Yeah.
Taya and I showed you one way to play the game. Each time you change the rules or challenges, you'll end up with a different resulting artwork. 4 different colors, 4 different shapes. Just circles. Printing with only 1 color. Printing on different colors of paper. Each item had to be touching the one that was printed before. Trying to fill the entire page. And finally, printing on different sizes of paper. Thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you'll try this project at home. And if you do, please post your photos online and tag us at AGO Makes. I can't wait to see what you come up with.